Yesterday, the final trailer for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker was released. Hand on heart, this is the first time I have ever watched a Star Wars trailer and felt absolutely no sense of excitement about the upcoming film. There wasn't even the mildest pang of intrigue about anything I saw in that 2 minutes and 21 seconds of footage. It was just more of the same old, exploitative nostalgia being used to mask a dysfunctional trilogy. For me, yesterday's trailer was not only lacking in excitement, it was actually tinged with a sense of sadness. Sadness about what could have been, sadness about the treatment of some of cinema's most beloved and iconic characters, sadness about the commercial and ideological interests that have now gutted a once great mythology. Even my kids, who really enjoyed The Force Awakens and have a mild fascination for The Last Jedi, said to me during the trailer, "Dad, how can the Emperor still be alive? That doesn't make any sense." At which point I let out a sigh and said, "I don't know, kids, I just don't know." I don't need to tell you that this is not the way things are supposed to be when a final trailer for the next installment in one of the greatest movie franchises ever put to screen is released. A trailer is supposed to be like a baited hook. It's supposed to pique your interest in the upcoming movie. A really good trailer is like a siren song that calls to you with a sweet allure and the promise that something truly amazing is awaiting at your local cinema, to the point where you immediately want to dash yourself on the rocks of mindless consumerism in order to secure the best seats at the very first screening on the very first night it opens in your town. So why didn't I feel anything even remotely like this when I watched yesterday's third and final Star Wars trailer? One possible interpretation of these events is to suggest that I have finally outgrown Star Wars, and that if I was only a child, I would have been salivating at the bit over yesterday's preview. To which I say, piffle. Good mythology is timeless, and it entices people of any age. That's because good mythology speaks to universal truths about the human experience, and people of any age can connect and identify with those universal truths. Which is why I still find the original trilogy and even aspects of the prequel trilogy to be engaging. Another interpretation of my reaction to the trailer would be to suggest that I am some sort of delusional, possibly even mildly psychotic fanboy who is simply entitled and enraged about a trilogy that didn't serve up my every waking fan theory. But this would also be nonsense because I have never had a shopping list for the new trilogy. The only thing I ever wanted was good storytelling. And that's why yesterday's trailer didn't mean anything to me. In fact, because of the inept way that major aspects of this trilogy story have been written, there was nothing that could have been done yesterday to save that trailer. If the new trilogy is the Titanic, then bad writing is the iceberg that tore the fatal and irreparable hole in her side. And no amount of bailing water is going to prevent the inevitable sinking of the ship, regardless of how many brightly coloured buckets you employ or how impressively the orchestra up on deck performs the theme music during the trailers. One of the fatal flaws that was dealt to The Rise of Skywalker was the structuring of The Last Jedi, which didn't do what a second film, telling its part of a story being told over 3 films, is supposed to do. It did not adequately set up the third and final film in the trilogy. It's hard to be excited about a trailer that is hinting at a big, important final showdown when that showdown hasn't even been teased or given any proper context or substantial build-up in the previous film. Then there's also the fact that Rey's character development has been practically non-existent for the entire trilogy, and so we have no real sense of investment in her journey as a character because she already arrived fully developed and without the need to improve at the start of The Force Awakens. In this third and final trailer, when Rey tells us that no one knows who she really is, my first thought was, you're right, and that's why we have no investment in you as a character. We don't know you because you have been badly written, but you are supposed to be the main character. In this trilogy, it's your story that we're supposed to care about. But there's no tension when it comes to Rey because we have never seen her fail like Luke did, and spectacularly so in that final act of The Empire Strikes Back. All that this trailer is telling me is that Rey, a character I have very little investment in, is going to have yet another dramaless showdown with Kylo Ren. And one thing that really stuck out for me yesterday was how the totally absurd, premature killing of Snoke in Episode 8 has now really hurt this final showdown that's coming in Episode 9. The stakes have been lessened considerably, to the point where they've dug up the corpse of Emperor Palpatine so that they can go full weekend at Bernie's with that bad boy in Episode 9. In doing so, they have gutted the original character arc of Luke Skywalker and all but destroyed the final triumph over evil that was the central hallmark of the mythology of the original trilogy. All they are proving by doing this is how unoriginal and lacking in creativity this entire trilogy has been from the very start. But hey, who knows, maybe Episode 9, Weekend at Palpy's, is going to be the best Star Wars film ever made. Here's the thing, this is still a Star Wars movie, and many fans are still hanging on by their fingernails in the desperate hope that J.J. Abrams will redeem the trilogy from the disaster that was The Last Jedi with this third and final film. This means that it will probably do okay at the box office. And that means that the purveyors of the culture of soulless vacuity, who want to defend the vacuous soullessness of the new Star Wars trilogy, will then start claiming that the financial takings are some sort of proof of high art or greatness on the part of Episode 9. Meanwhile, the rest of us, watching this bizarre spectacle from the lifeboats, will find ourselves wondering how long it will take them to figure out that the salty water lapping at their feet is not the tears of distraught and delusional fanboys. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a tip in the tip jar by using the PayPal link found in the description below. If that doesn't work, use the PayPal button that's found at the top right of my YouTube channel's homepage. And as per usual, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on Left Foot Media.